Builder to Realtor family, what is good? I'm super excited to be back with another fireside chat. And today we have Julie Wheeler with Bob Webb Homes. So, Julie, thanks so much for joining me today on this Facebook Live and within our Builder to Realtor community.
Thank you so much for having me, John. I appreciate it.
Julie, share a little bit about who you are, how long you've been in the business, and why you chose to go into the new construction field.
Okay. Well, so let's see. I have been with Bob Webb for about 4 years, going on 4 years this year. My background really was in small business marketing. I started back to work after raising my family for about 10 years. Then this opportunity came along, and growing up, my mom was actually a realtor and had always told me I needed to get into this business. And it was something I was interested in, but just opportunities that had come about were in marketing, and I chose that path. And then a family friend worked with Bob Webb and connected me in. And after hearing so much about Bob Webb in the community, I thought, well, why not take this opportunity and try it? And it proved to be something that I've really had a lot of interest in and feel like I've been successful. And mostly I just enjoy it. I don't feel like it's a job. It's just really a lot of fun. It's been a huge learning curve over the years, but I feel like I'm at a really great place. And I got into it right before COVID. So kind of coming into the after COVID when things just, hit the ground running, I kind of learned by fire, and it kind of was the best thing for me. So anyway, so it's been great.
And share a little bit. Obviously, you kind of have a little bit of the background growing up in the business, right? And clearly, you didn't want to come to
Sure.
the good side of the business. You wanted to stick, onto the new construction side. But share a little bit about Bob Webb. How long have they been in the business? Who they are, and what do they stand for?
Sure. So Bob Webb has probably one of the longest standing custom builders in town. He's going on about 64 years in the business. Bob himself still actually comes to work every single day, drives the neighborhoods and the communities every single weekend. You'll see him drive by, making sure all the signs are up and everything is just so within the communities. He really has built his reputation based on the quality and the craftsmanship, but it's the quality behind the walls that is a really important thing for Bob. We build all of our homes, whether you're building a $500,000 house or a $5 million house, the quality of the construction is the same. We use the same products no matter what. And we feel, like we use a lot of the higher end products. We use Anderson windows. We use James Hardy Color Plus. A lot of people use James Hardy, but we use the Color Plus version where the color is actually baked in at the factory. That's how all of our homes are wrapped and sided. And it's not only the siding, but it's the trim, it's the eaves on the roofs too. We're the only builder in town actually that does that. So it's just the quality of, and then of course the interior is incredible as well. And I think that's really how he's kept his reputation. As a realtor, you probably understand that when a Bob Webb home goes for sale, it usually says, and it's listed that this is a Bob Webb built home. And that
Yeah.
comes with, a lot to think about. A lot of people have that, like to see that name associated with the build of the home.
Julie, we have a lot of new agents in the group, agents who've been, licensed a while, agents who don't do a lot in the new construction space. When you mention custom home, it's fully 100% custom, from scratch, or can you just talk a little bit about that process and
Sure.
what us as real estate agents need to know?
Yeah. So there's a couple things. I think a lot of people think of Bob Webb custom would be more just single family homes. There are kind of two sides to the Bob Webb build. We do, of course, do single family homes, which are fully custom. Do some people go through maybe a model or someone else's house who's under construction and say, hey, I want that home? Yes, they certainly do. Do they come with their own plans in mind? Yes, they do. But the nice thing is, on a single family home, when you're coming in, we really can sit down with our architect and we can either start from scratch, start from an idea that you have. We are sort of trained as the builder's representatives to kind of walk you through and help you even know maybe what you want. Because sometimes people don't know. Maybe we'll start in the kitchen and we'll say, okay, which way do you want your island facing? Do you have a great lot? We just kind of walk them through that process, whether it be, sitting down with the architect or starting with a plan that they maybe already have been through. The other side of the business is simplified living. A lot of people don't know that it's probably more people understand it as a patio home. We call it simplified living. We sell a lot of simplified living homes. I'd say probably 50% of our business is simplified living homes. Simplified living to us just means first floor masters, open floor plans, covered patios are always included. We also do like the grass cutting and the snow removal and fertilization as well. We have just as many simplified living communities, if not more, than we have single family communities. And then the third part of the business would be building on your own lot. I think it's important for people to understand, especially in this market, trying to find a lot. If you need a builder, we can come out and start from scratch and sort of help pave and guide the way on how to even get started on your own lot.
The simplified living concept, was that something that Bob Webb has always done, or is that something that was kind of created in a recent marketplace to kind of help out with that affordability factor?
So let's see here. I'm not sure how long we've been building simplified living, to be quite honest, but I will say in the last 7 or 8 years, we've really tried to dive into that market because it's really what people are looking for. I do
Yeah.
think there are a lot of people that want to simplify, their home and make all their space usable. But we really have gotten into the market and have done a really good job. These communities don't look like maybe your typical patio home style living. They really just like a house on a lot, just like any other community that we have. They do have yards. Depending on the community that you're in, most of the yards are going to be a little bit smaller, maybe a third of an acre or less. The houses may be a little bit closer together. We have several different communities. We have communities right now in Dublin. I guess it would really be in Union, like the Union County, Plain City area. We have a community in Westerville. We have a community in Evans Farms that's about to finish up. Let's see, we actually are just opening a community out in New Albany as well. We're going to have simplified living. But the cool thing about that is we do start with floor plans there because of the lot sizes. People come in and they don't really want to have to think about everything they have to do. But within that floor plan, depending, on the buildable space that you have on the lot, we can bump a wall. We can add a half bath if we need to. That's probably the one thing that sets us apart is being custom. Even though we start with a floor plan, we can still make changes within the plan.
And Julie, where are all of the other communities that you guys serve when it comes to the single family homes as well?
So single family homes, we are building in Jerome Village and Eversole Run. We are building in Liberty Bluff. That's actually where I have been finishing up the community out there. We are down to just 3 or 4 lots left out there and a couple of spec homes. That is in the Olentangy side off of 315. So we've got Olentangy schools, we've got Dublin schools, and then we have Evans Farm. And then we also have New Albany. So New Albany is a big talking piece right now. Of course, everyone's focused on what's coming to New Albany with Intel and Google coming. We do have a community out there that's going to be a multi-living community. It's going to have single family and simplified living in the same community. It's about 60 lots. It's right across from Bevelheimer Park, kind of on that corner right there. And it's going to be a little bit different in the simplified living over there because you do have to have 55 or older. That is something new that we are embarking on. But in terms of the single family, I believe it's like 38 single family lots and 22 simplified living lots over there. So really about 4 communities, plus we've got more coming. We're always at Bob Webb looking to the future, and especially with what's coming to Columbus, we really need to be making sure we have a lot of places to build and lots available as all these new people are coming to Columbus. We have a new community coming called Olentangy Trails that will be probably in the early 2024. That's going to be off of Liberty Road. We have a new community that's even closer than that. That's going to be Indian Run. It is also, let's see, it is also Plain City, I think, Union County. It's right off of McKittrick,
Mhm.
close to Jerome Village, but it's not part of Jerome Village. We're going to have, that's also going to be single family and simplified living.
Yeah,
So
I,
to come in the future.
yeah, those that have been watching these and the agents that have been around me, I'm a big proponent of agents getting to know the new build space because it's something that's been a huge hole in my business over the years of me being in this business. And just some of those things that you shared with us, just upcoming communities, those are all talking points of or value added conversations that we can bring to our clients that are looking in those areas, right? It may not match up exactly time frame wise, but
Sure.
just talking about some of the developments and things that are going on, like, as agents, we should be start paying attention and having conversation with our reps in this community around, hey, what do you know? Are there any whispers about what's happening in Johnstown or New Albany or, some of these other areas, what's happening out in Plain City, right? In Jerome Village, like that is a huge community out that way. And as we continue to grow, our city, you as agents understanding that that's information that your clients want to know about.
Yeah, I think you bring up a very good point, John. Hopefully, as realtors, you're connecting in with the builder reps in terms of what's on their inventory sheets as well. Because we don't list everything that we have in inventory. So unless you come to Bob Webb to know what we have available, right now I have a move-in ready available home in Liberty Bluff, and I've got one in Jerome Village. The one in Liberty Bluff just got listed with Hayden Piles, who also works for Bob Webb, and he's also a realtor. But the one in Jerome Village, we've got a great house in Jerome Village that's almost move-in ready. You wouldn't find it unless you came to us and know or drove by it.
Yeah.
So I think it's important for all realtors to be, checking out the inventory sheets weekly to see what's available with the current market going on, where homes are now back to, selling quickly and having multiple offers.
Yeah. Julie, what is Bob Webb's wheelhouse when it comes to price point? Just to kind of give us real estate agents, and obviously that's a loaded question, right? Because you're
Sure.
fully custom, but building on lot and versus community, all those things. But if you were to kind
Yeah.
of put it into a range, what would you say is your
So
guys'
first,
wheelhouse?
as prices are up, right? But for single family, we're definitely going to be on the higher end. And we're not on the higher end of the spectrum because we want to be high priced. We're on the higher end of the spectrum because we provide the quality and kind of the way we construct the home. We provide the highest materials. It's also important for you to think about what comes included when you're building a home. We have a lot that comes included in our homes. Soft closed doors and drawers. We offer quartz and granite in the kitchen and the bathrooms. 10-foot ceilings come standard. I talked about the James Hardy Color Plus on the exterior. A lot comes included with Bob Webb. So I think those are important questions. But mostly, I just think that it's important for you to be thinking about
Yeah.
those kinds of things when you're thinking about a builder to use.
Yeah. And do you guys offer like in-house financing? From a financing standpoint, what does that look like, for us to be able to educate our clients on with working with Bob Webb?
We do not have in-house financing. We do have lenders that we do like to work with. You are not required to work with, our lenders, but we certainly always offer 2 or 3 names of people that have worked well with Bob Webb. A lot of times when you're doing a new build, you're going to do a construction loan, unless you're buying a spec home, which we already have under construction. And not everyone does a construction loan. And so
Mhm.
it's important to work with a lender that understands the process and can help you get to the close date on time.
Yeah. I mean, I think, as agents, I always say, we just need enough information to be dangerous. Let the builder rep be the expert, the go-to advisor
Yeah.
when it comes to that kind of stuff. Julie, what are some other best practices us as real estate agents that maybe we haven't spoke about yet, but us as real estate agents could be doing more of in order to um, have new construction as a piece of our business?
Well, I think just building that relationship with your builder reps. And I think also, I just think it's important for realtors to not be afraid to come to new construction, maybe because you don't understand it. You don't have to understand how the build process works in order to sell a new construction home. That's what your builder rep is for. You're a team with your builder rep. You're both, looking for the same goal. The goal is to get your client into a home that they can be happy with. And you have to trust each other and rely on each other to build that same goal. And that's what your builder rep is there for. So I think, just exactly what you're doing on here, I think is amazing, is that you're opening these lines of communication so realtors don't have fear of working in an area that doesn't, that they maybe don't understand. Because it's a lot to understand.
Yeah.
And you just have to rely on your builder rep and trust them that they're going to help your client, for the best interest of everybody.
Yeah, and I think that's on the real estate agent side, right? We have agency where one party represents buyer, one party represents seller, and there's some of that, right, in this relationship between us and the builder and the rep. But I think that I just talked to Grace on Monday from Three Pillar Homes, and that's kind of how it always felt to me, right? Like it's me versus the rep or me versus the builder, right? And it's not really that way because that's what we're used to as real estate agents. We're used to it being us protecting our clients. Yeah, like both agents want to get it to the closing table, but we have a fiduciary to represent just our client, right? And
Sure.
it's kind of like that, but it's not like that
Yeah.
in this relationship, in this dynamic. And a lot of times I just tell some of the agents on our team if they have questions about the contract or the process, I'm like, just call the rep, right? They're going to tell
Sure.
you they want to make this go as smooth and as seamless as possible for our clients.
Yeah. And I think it's different because, there's a lot of meetings along the way, where you're trying to, come up with the floor plan, and then they have to go through selections, and there's a lot of things that are out of control of the realtor's hands, and maybe they don't understand it. But again, that's what the builder rep is for. And I want the realtors to know that you do not have to be with your client representing them in the moment when they come through a Bob Webb home. You just have your clients mention your name. And typically we are trained to ask, are you working with a realtor? We always welcome realtors at Bob Webb. We pay a full 3% always. We always have, we always will. And in addition to that, we are starting to pay at foundation half of the commission up front. So you don't have to wait to get your full commission until the home is completely built.
That's awesome. And Julie, what is Bob Webb friendly with social media marketing? I know, that's one of the things I always tell agents about. The one benefit that we have here locally is there's a lot of builders that are agent friendly when it comes to the marketing opportunities, open house opportunities. What are some of the rules that Bob Webb has in place regarding those things for us?
Well, we do have 3 realtor representatives that work for us at Bob Webb. They are from different agencies around town. They've worked for us for a while. They are typically the ones who list our spec homes. We have a good relationship with them, a longstanding relationship to them. They're loyal to us. We're loyal to them for the most part. So we don't have too many opportunities for an open house in that sense, but we do obviously have lots of opportunity, to build those relationships with realtors in general. I know that I'm always open to hosting realtors, maybe at one of our, at one of our models. I think, we let you guys go out, your team go out and take pictures at our model. You can host meetings there if you would like. So things like that.
Yeah, and I think that's another big game changer for agents. If you guys are looking to do a little bit more on the new construction space, make sure you're doing your buyer consultations, at model homes,
Yeah, why
and
not? Take
putting your
advantage of
client.
it. We'll
Yeah,
even we'll even bring in lunch if you wanna do that. And
yeah.
and to go back, John, I got a little sidetracked on my thought when you were asking about pricing, and I didn't actually fully answer your question. I'm sorry about that, but we are gonna be on the higher end, right? Because we include a lot. But in the single family side, we probably start about that 1.2 million price. which is a high number. It is a high number. But it's important to know what you're actually getting in that price range. In Evans Farm, it might be a little bit less. The lot prices out there are a little bit less. I believe we have one out there that's just under $1 million. But in like an Eversole Run and a New Albany and a Liberty Bluff, and we're going to be in that 1.2. In the simplified living side, if you're doing, simplified living comes two sides. You can build on a slab in some of the neighborhoods. Some of the neighborhoods you can include a lower level. If you're building just on a slab, you're probably going to be upwards starting in that 650 range. If you're adding a lower level, basements always add more money because of the concrete. It adds a lot more expense. You're probably more starting in that 750 range, 800 maybe, depending on the neighborhood, of adding a lower level. So
yeah.
Definitely on the higher end. We aren't a production builder. Being a custom builder, we're going to be a little bit more expensive. But with that comes, an incredibly quality constructed home with great craftsmanship.
Well, and honestly, fast forwarding, 5, 10, 15 years down the road and what our city's going to be looking like. I think we're ready to take that next step in the form of city and growth, right? We're no longer this mid-size, smaller, city, Midwest city.
Yeah.
I think as agents, it's, the new construction space allows us an opportunity to be intentional with our marketing strategies and as a way to increase our sales price, right? If you want to increase your sales price as a real estate agent, go and have conversations with the reps, in our builder to realtor Facebook group that are in those areas of location wise and price point wise of where you want to be, and start having those conversations and learning the products and being the go-to expert, because that's going to be the one thing that allows you to communicate with that clientele and allows you to attract that clientele.
Yeah. And it's funny because I do hear people have a fear of talking to a client that can afford a higher end home.
Yeah.
They're just people, right? They're just people. They maybe have a little, affordability, but like it's just helping them through the process of understanding. And certainly the more, the more, the better you feel about walking in, but that's what we're here for. We're here to help you in any way that we can.
Well, Julie, thanks so much for jumping on with us. Real estate agents, make sure you guys reach out to all of these reps that we have on the fireside chat. I mean, if you are another rep, it doesn't matter if I've already spoke to someone at your same, at the same company. This is all about just making sure that us as agents are connecting with you as reps and really understanding the new construction space when it comes to communities, who's where. What are the value adds that we can do and provide to our clients in this process to really help grow your new construction business side of things. So, Julie, thanks so much for today.
Thank you, Jon. I absolutely love what you're doing for the community. Thank you so much for your time and effort in, joining everyone and connecting everyone. Because that's key right there. That's everything, is making the connections to get to know each other and help each other out.
Yeah.
The same goal.
It's been great to see the community come together from an idea to it actually, deals getting done and business happening because of it. So, but it's because of, all of the reps like yourself being willing to come on and do these types of things and to respond to us agents and to open up the doors to allow us into, whether it's video walkthroughs or lunch or whatever the case may be. Because in the beginning, I thought there was just this friction, right?
Mm-hmm.
Butting heads, and it wasn't the case, but that's just what I thought. And I think a lot of agents have that same thought process. So
yeah, you're absolutely
it's
right.
because of all of you guys coming in and asking the questions and then you as the reps opening your doors and responding to everything.
Well, thank you again for having me on, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.
All right, awesome. We'll talk soon.
Okay, bye.